Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be recapping one of my favorite shows, RuPaul Drag Race. This episode is called All Queens Go to Heaven, and this episode was so jam-packed, so much going on, so much shade, so much tea. Oh my god. Covering this was so much fun. The episode opens up with covering the elimination. So after the elimination, the girls go back into the workroom and they see the message that Irene left on the mirror for them. Of course, Irene, being Irene, she has to make everything into a joke. She says that she left poop in one of the girls' workstation. Amethyst thinks it's her because Amethyst was the one to eliminate her. But it's interesting enough, Lux is the one to say, no, it could be that she left it in my wig. That's 40 inches. And I'm like, she gets the last laugh, and that's pretty nice because the way Irene went out in this competition, oh my gosh, girl, talked the big game but couldn't back it out. So the girls, they move on and they have their girl chat. And they talk about how Robin and Amethyst used to date. So that was an interesting kind of conversation because to see them to kind of react of this information being out there, they're trying to play it off as if they're not interested in each other. But I wonder if there will be some sort of romance that sparks up here again on the competition. So we'll keep an eye out for that. We do get some reflection from Lucy LaDuca, one of my faves. And, she disagrees and she is angry about being on the bottom. She does agree that Anitra should have won the competition, as she should. But she doesn't feel like she should have been one of the bottom girls that could have been up for elimination. So she has a fire that's lit up into her, and she plans in this episode to prove herself that she's one of the top queens. And I want to see that because I had some high hopes for her in the first episode, and I was kind of let down based on her performance. So hopefully in this episode, you'll see some sort of growth on her part. Rue lets the girls know that in this episode, they're going to get into teams of 3. So Anitra, since she was the winner, she's the captain. And the winner of the eliminated girls, Amethyst, she's the following captain. So they each get to pick their teams, and whoever remains is the third team. So the third team, they call themselves the leftovers, which is funny. So in Anitra's team, she picks Lux, Sasha, Estides, Marsha. And then Amethyst, she picks Lucy, Aura, Spice, and Poppy. So on the leftover team, we have Mistress, Malaysia, Robin, Jax, and Sugar. Do the teams make sense? We'll see because we're still getting to know these girls. I got so spoiled from watching All Stars. So when you watch All Stars, you're familiar with the groups, so you're able to see up ahead, like, okay, they're gonna work or they're not gonna work. But it's a new season, so we'll see how these groups play out. So the teams are now divided off, and they're planning pretty much the commercial. So the commercial theme about it is pretty much the drag queens going into heaven and how they want to display that into a commercial. So the mindset of Anitra's team is that she picked the girls based on who can have fun with each other. They seem like they have a good bond together. So it's interesting to see that those are the girls he kind of gravitate towards, because I felt like the people on the leftover teams, there's some strong players there. I would have want them on my team for sure. Like, for example, Malaysia, Mistress, like, come on, Robin on the other team, and Jax. They had a good showcase in the previous episode, so I'm surprised they were considered leftovers. And I forgot to mention Poppy. She made a shady comment, which is gonna interesting enough. RuPaul says, be careful, it might be you who's gonna be the loser, So it was interesting that Poppy thought, happy to not be picked last, and that the leftover teams were pretty much, he called them losers, which is crazy foreshadow. Now, Amethyst team, the ones I'm most excited for in Amethyst team is, of course, Lucy LaDuca and Spice. I'm unsure about Aura. I haven't got a good sense of Aura's personality. Like, all I can remember when I think of Aura, I think of the material. The outfits that she wears is like very gorgeous materials. For Poppy, I said it in previous that I want to see more from Poppy. I felt like we only been getting one note from Poppy, and I do want to see more. So, of course, I think it's a risk in picking someone like Lucy on your team, who was in jeopardy of being eliminated, one of the bottom girls. Because she feels like she has much to prove. She's going to have more fire. She's going to feel like she needs to exert herself more. And you see that in the group meeting, because, of course, Lucy has all these ideas that she wants to get out because, of course, she wants to redeem herself. And that affects Amethyst because, yes, Amethyst is the captain, but you don't really get to hear her voice her opinion. And Aura, she's like pretty much background. You see her laugh here and there, but I want to like get some like noted shade from Aura. Like, what does she thinks about the girls? Like, what's going on in her mind? I feel like she needs to voice herself more, and she's not taking on this opportunity. Like, come on, girls, you've seen this show. Like, you know what it takes to be one of the Rue girls. Like, come on. Now, the leftover teas. Girl, I know they're mad. Like, ain't no way you consider the girls on the leftovers team leftovers. Like, they have so much to offer, so much talent. I can't believe they were like pushed to be left and not pick. But it could be strategy too. Maybe you don't want a heavy hitter on your team because, of course, you want to shine, So seeing the leftover team and how they work, I was like excited, but then I got nervous because I saw Jax. Like, Jax seems like the type that he can perform and everything after a plan has been formulated. Like, it has to be a clear cut plan. There's no improving. Everything is thought out. Everything is like planned and practiced and rehearsed, which is good, but it's also bad, because I feel like to be a Rue girl, you gotta be able to live in that moment and perform, So we see how it kind of impacts Sugar, because Sugar, she's like, she comes, this is her jam, this is her wheelhouse. She's a person to improv because she does all these TikToks, So she's excited. She has all these ideas. And that's kind of conflicting with Jack. So I can see those two on a team together. Oh my God. Hopefully never again, because I don't see them working well together. And you see kind of how like on the duo of Sugar and Spice, Spice is the one to balance out Sugar, to give the support that Sugar needs to perform. So Spice gives Sugar the pep talk, say, no, you need to see see yourself as worthy of being here and being able to put in your input, because you're good. This is your wheelhouse. This is your jam. So have the confidence in yourself. So Sugar realizes herself and says, no, she will not be pushed out, that she is not going to be discouraged. She's going to shine and do what she does. And, when we get into rehearsal, we kind of see, okay, what these girls are going to be made of. And I want to know. So now we're filming the infomercial, and our director for the day is Michelle Visage. So, it's not going to be easy to perform in front of Michelle. She gives really great feedback, but you got to have to know what to do with that feedback. So off to the start, we have the leftover group. And, it was kind of rocky because they didn't have a layout. They didn't know what they were going to do. Like, the girls couldn't give a proper description of what they want the scene to look like. And that was like, oh no, that's not a good start. But when they got into it, you could see Sugar is a complete natural in filming. She knows how to perform. She uses her face, she uses her body. And I want the other girls to be able to do that. And I can read it in their face. They felt uncomfortable. Like, I was like, come on, make this scene happen. You can do it. And the other girls were not able to mesh well to the energy that I felt Sugar was giving. And I was watching Sugar, I'm like, damn, she's not one to mess with. She may not have as much experience as the other girls, but she could hang. She could very well hang and if not hang, do better. So the girls have to watch this one. Now with Amethyst group, we kind of see Sasha Colby, a person that everyone gives so much high expectations, start to get into her head. And I'm like, no, the inner saboteur is not going to affect Sasha. You cannot let this happen. I want her to just enjoy the moment and not think so much about her performance. She's a natural star, and I feel like she has this sense of so much pressure to give people what they expect from her. And, you know, Michelle makes that a point. The girls make that a point. She makes that a point within herself. So to be held into that kind of standard, that's a lot of pressure for Sasha. So seeing her at first, I was like, I want her to get it together. I want her to have her moment. I want her to thrive, because nothing worse is that being a hero in everyone's eyes and failing in front of them. So that's a lot of pressure for her. So we'll see how she does. Now, Amethyst group, I was scared at first. I was scared, real scared. And then when they started doing their thing, I was still scared. Like, oh my God. I said, what's the hope in this team? You picked this group. Like, why are you not doing what you're supposed to do? Give what it's supposed to give. I don't know how they're gonna make it through this infomercial, honestly. But, you know, Lucy, I'm looking at her like, girl, you cannot mess up again. I had high hopes for you. I've been rooting for you. No. So hopefully she gets it together to still be one of my faves. Her and Robin's one of my top faves from the beginning. I feel like she's letting me down. And I'm like, damn, girl, you're making me look crazy. How can I support you? We'll see. Now, glamming in the workroom, you see Sugar and Spice having their quick talk. And, you know, Sugar is realizing that she has to stick up for herself in this competition and that she cannot rely on her sister as support. And I think, you know, she's right. She needs to, because we can't look at the twins as a duo in this competition. They are essentially individuals in this game. So while they can support each other from the side, they have to realize that this is their moment and to treat it as such. Then we get into Jax telling how she feels about this group situation. And she doesn't like that she feels like she's the wrangler. Like she's the one getting everyone. She feels like she's the one getting one together, assigning their roles, how everything should be set up, instead of being more of the talent. And in this show, it's important to realize you are the talent. The reason why you're here is not to help the other girls get ready for their parts. Your first role is to get yourself ready for the parts that you are entrusted with. You are not the wrangler. You're not moral support, even though you can offer support to your fellow girls. But you have to realize this is a competition, and I felt like this was a missed opportunity for Jax, because Jax is a performer. She did so well the first episode, and to see how she was even unable to focus on her character for this infomercial is a complete letdown. And I feel like you're wasting your talent, and she shouldn't do that. And I was quite disappointed with that. Since this infomercial is based on heaven, the girls start talking about religion and how that impacts who they are doing drag. Malaysia, she opens up and says that she grows up in a religious background. She goes to church every week. She's part of a community. Her family, they're very involved with the church. And she had a conflict within herself and how she would be viewed, if she would be viewed as a hypocrite by her loved ones. And she was fortunate enough to be blessed to have family that accepted her. And that is the greatest gift that a family could give to someone who's in the closet. Her having family to support her was the biggest support that she could ever ask for or ever wanted or ever needed. What was interesting is the contrasting experience for Mistress. Mistress, her family does not accept that. She opens up how her mother found her outfit that she used to wear in drag shows and outed her in this way, saying, "You can't have this in my house." And this led her actually having to leave her home at 17. And she said something that completely resonated and it's so touching. Is like, the worst thing you can have is your family being your first bully. And I thought, wow, that is so impactful and so personal, because ultimately these girls, they come together as a drag family. That's their new family. They find their passion and they feel safe to be open to who they are and be who they want to be. I think that's the most beautiful thing that you can get from this show. We can all watch the show and appreciate people living in their truths and accepting that, and having and establishing a support group of people in your lives. Because while we have family that we're born with and we grow up with, they're not actually your real family that will give you what you need and the support that you need to continue to thrive and be successful to who you want to be. Because at the end of the day, if you have one life to live, you want to live it how you want to and not how anyone else envisions it for you. So this was one of the most beautiful moments of the season. Happened too early, I felt like, because I wasn't ready to cry. These girls, I don't know how they do it. They get ready, they get glam, and they have these moments. I'm like, I would be crying, give me the most ugly cry. Getting so deep, so emotional about this. But I just thought it's such a beautiful moment, and I feel more people should watch this show. Just for this. Such a teachable moment. Now we're off to the fashion. So category is Metallica. So we see RuPaul come down the runway, and I'm like, this wig is immaculate. This wig is perfection. This is what it means when you have the coins to pay for a hair that looked so coiffed like that. Like, oh my gosh, it was absolute perfection. And of course, RuPaul wore a gold dress that was cinching to the body, very perfect, always looks beautiful. You know, I'm always going to say I would love to see something different on RuPaul, but at least if he's going to give you a look, it's always a look that looks good. I don't know if you guys could point out a look that you didn't like on RuPaul. I think it was quite hard, but I loved it. I completely loved it. So now we're going to see the girls on the runway serving category Metallica. So first we had Anitra, who I like to call Baby Detox. And, you know, when you see people's first looks, when you see following looks, you kind of want more. I felt like her look, I would rate it an 8.5. I felt like it was within her wheelhouse, but I wanted more. It was solid. I thought it was okay. I want more. Next, Sasha Colby. I thought she was also fierce. I gave her an 8.5. I called her the queen of the carnival girls because her look was giving carnival fashion. I loved it. Then for Selena's titties, I gave her a 7.9. I felt like the joke that Michelle made was much better than the actual look. This look, it was okay. I mean, she was giving street sign realness. It was cute to see RuPaul laugh so hard at the joke. And I felt like Selena, she was on brand because she's a girl from the streets. So I gave her a 7.9. Then for looks, I gave her a 9. I was happy to see a different shade of Metallica after seeing the previous girls. So I was excited for that. But I thought for her look, what was so immaculate was her hair. I felt like her hair was also giving metallic. That shine that was on it, it looked so good. And I actually liked the look that was on her. I would want that on me. Then for Marsha, I gave her a 7.3. For me, I felt like it was flat. because I think she needed more dimension into her look. Her makeup, she doesn't do too much. She's not really a makeup girl. And I felt like the curls could have been brushed out for her wig to give more, I need more. Next, we have Amethyst. Amethyst. So Amethyst, I loved it. I gave her a 10. Yes, I gave her a 10. Why? Because she was giving Christina Aguilera vibes, and I was living for it. I was so gagged. I was like, this look is so iconic. But, it does remind me of Christina Aguilera. I wonder if this is, like, the vibe that Amethyst typically goes for, or what's her vibe. But I did like this look. For a Poppy, okay. Poppy, I gave you a 7.4. Now, hear me out. It was so flat. Like, after you come after, for me, Amethyst, after her look, I wouldn't want to come after Amethyst. Given what Poppy was wearing, it was, like, the color was good. The color was sexy. I love the color, but it needed more drama. She was supposed to be a character, R2-D2, but the pumps was, no. It didn't help. I did not like her look. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan so far. I want her to really showcase something because I'm looking for a lifeline here, Poppy. Next, for Spice, I gave her 8.5. She did that electric blue that I like, that I was on Poppy, but she did it how it was supposed to be done. She gave dimension. She gave a complete full look. There's a whole concept, whole thought, whole personality to the girl. Like, she's a standout. I loved Spice look. Then we have Aura. Now, I'm waiting for Aura to come out and showcase. For Aura, I gave her a 7.9. I wanted more in her look. Now, for Lucy LaDuca, I loved her outfit, but one of the biggest critiques I have for her is her hair. I felt like the hair could have been more voluminous. I felt like she could have, knocked on Rue's door, be like, I need the wig that you have on, I need that on me. Because I felt like if her short bob was a little bit more voluminous, more heavenly, more angel-like, it would have been way, 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 way better. Way, 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 way better. Totally better. Next was Jax. And when I saw Jax look, I wasn't so much of a fan. I actually gave it a 7.6. I felt like, and I can't believe the judges didn't say this either. I felt like she was not wearing enough metallic. I understand the top was like metallic with the sleeves, but I didn't like the boots. I feel like the boots was like whatever she had in her closet. But I felt like, what would have set her apart is if she did like camo metallic. I think that would have been a nice change because everyone except for Lucy LaDuca, they had like kind of like metallic one note and some dimensions you play with the shape. But I felt like if it's possible, put pattern. Yeah, it's possible. You could put pattern on metallic and have like a camo look. I think that would have been chef kiss. That would have been so nice. For Robin, I gave her a 10. Her look is sickening. I love the hair. I love the makeup. I love the outfit. Oh my God. I actually scratched that. I want her look. I would wear her look out of all the girls. She was perfect. I love Robin. Robin has not let me down. I love her. Then for Mistress, I gave her 8.5. But I think I gave her like an okay rating because I liked her look from the previous episode. So this one was kind of like, it was okay. I wasn't wow, but I felt like her last week look was better. Then we had Sugar, and for Sugar, she looked like a metallic Barbie. I get the theme, I get the vibes. She committed to the look. I gave that look a 10. Now for Malaysia, similar to Mistress, I liked the previous look, but I felt like the look that she wore, I gave the look an 8.5. But the look, I felt like from the top it was fine for me, but when you got to the bottom it was quite plain, and then when you turn around it was plainer. So I was like, she could have done more. Like, I felt like it was missing something. And also what I don't like is how it was the similar color pattern, color type from the previous episode. So I feel like shouldn't play it so safe. I feel like she should like change it up, so to keep it appealing, keep it interesting. I am excited to see what she has for us the next episode. That's for sure. Now, for the infomercial, I don't know how you guys feel, but I didn't really like the infomercial. I didn't think anyone really stand out so much. I think it was the people, they did okay, and then if it wasn't okay, it was awkward. I felt like I'm kind of scared because Snatch Game is coming up, and these girls, how they're going to perform for Snatch Game. Because for me, Anitra's team, out of all the teams, I think they performed the best. I would give them first place because they were funny and they had good jokes, and I thought Anitra was a great standout. Following them, I would have to say I would give it to the Leftovers. I felt like Sugar, she was the standout in that group. And that Robin, I was so sad. Robin faded and I didn't have any memorable moments with Robin. I don't want her to just be a pretty girl. I want her to have her moments. And last, I would give it to Amethyst's team, which is bad because Amethyst was just in the bottom girl. And the only thing that saved that team was that I like Lucy as Dolly. That was nice. But overall, it was just so awkward to watch. I was like, is it done yet? I don't even know. So we get to the judging and we find out who is safe. Now, I was a little shocked to who is safe because I felt like some of the safe girls could have been in the bottom and some of the safe girls could have been in the top. So we see Anitra, Selena, Marsha, Spice, Aura, Robin, Mistress, Sugar, and Malaysia safe. I said, okay. Robin, she's good. And then I remember, oh my God, Lucy again. And then I was concerned. Oh, my heart fell. My heart fell when Jax was at risk because I'm like, oh no. So the mixture of the tops and bottoms are Lux, Sasha, Lucy, Spice, Poppy, and Jax. And it was so sad because I felt like, oh no, this cannot be possible. So we're going to get through the critiques. And I was like holding on for dear life because some of these people, I can't believe they're here after having a good episode prior. So it's like, oh my God. So going through the judges' critiques, for Sasha was actually their standouts. They loved her look, and they also found it a pleasure to actually direct her in the infomercial. They loved her role. They loved her jokes. She, all in all, she won the judges' hearts. So she's looking pretty good. For Lux, they loved her outfit, and that they also loved her gayness. They love how true she is in her character, in her role, in her group. So it seems like Anitra's team, they're pretty much good. They're a solid group of girls. For Amethyst, oh my God. I love Amethyst's look. So I'm like, they're going to say something nice about her look. But first they get into how she was in the commercial. I'm like, okay, they're going to give her some feedback. But then they're going to, pump her back up about her look. So they said about her infomercial, her jokes didn't land. And she wasn't funny enough. It didn't work. So I'm like, we all knew that. We all saw that. That was expected. But I didn't think the focus for her fashion would have been her nose. They said that she didn't need to contour her nose as much, and that they commented how beautiful her nose is, and that she should change how she does her makeup a little bit. But not one single feedback about her outfit. I'm like, are you guys completely ignoring her look? Like, I loved her look, and I don't know how the judges feel about Amethyst, so we're just sitting here idle because I didn't know how they felt about her fashion. Now with Poppy, for her commercial, they felt like, she was part of the group that didn't do so well. She was not really so much of a standout. Her comment on her fashion is that she was quite simple, a little bit too simple. Then we get into Lucy LaDuca, and they said pretty much Lucy LaDuca saved that team. They saved Amethyst's team pretty much as Dolly. Like, she helped that team so much. She killed it as Dolly, and it's so obvious because that's one of Rue's favorite women. So it's like, if you killed that, you're gonna make a special space in Rue in the ratings for sure. And they really loved how her outfit was different from the others. It wasn't like a one note color. It was like a mix, like, of a purple gold, kind of going in and out from each other. So beautiful. I really love that. That's really what set her apart. I felt like if Jax did that in her outfit and do a pattern in a camel print, that would have like take her up in the ratings, I feel like. Now, speaking of Jax, the judges do not remember one line from her in the infomercial, and they addressed that with her, and she shifted blame onto the girls. And you could shift the blame all you want to the girls, but at the end of the day, you are in command of how you want this to play out. And so I was let down by her, but I was shocked. I was like, damn, if they thought she was bad in the infomercial, then they're not gonna like her fashion. But surprisingly enough, they liked her fashion, so she was giving fashion. So I was shocked by that. That could be her saving grace. So we then learn who's safe, and it's Lucy LaDuca. She's safe, and then Lux was safe. I thought Lux almost had this one. She was pretty close. But the winner, baby, of the 5K cash prize was Sasha Kobe. Sasha. And that leaves Amethyst, Poppy, and Jax. And I'm like, based on what I was feeling, since Amethyst had the fashion, and she at least put an effort in her performance in the infomercial, that she may be safe. Because with Jax, I didn't like Jax's fashion, and Jackson had no standout in the infomercial, and Poppy had no standout in either one. So I thought it was going to be between Poppy and Jax. But it turns out Jax is safe, and Jax, she shows she's appreciative. She's like, she will never let you guys down again. And I hope not either, because that's so different completely from the previous episode, her performance. So now we have Amethyst and Poppy up for elimination. And wow, I'm completely shocked, because when I did the tally of the votes, I don't know, is this rigor mortis? Is this rig? Like, Rue, what are you seeing? What I'm not seeing? Now it's time for the girls to lip sync for their life. We have Poppy, we have Amethyst. And the song is Diana Ross, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Now, based on the song alone, the one for me as a front runner is Amethyst, because instantly she's giving the look, she's giving the hair, she's giving the outfit. She can sell Diana Ross with this look alone. So we see the performance and everything. And Poppy, her look was flat, her curls and everything was so flat on her. But she makes it up by doing body movement, like putting on a show. But I think like what she failed to realize with this, Diana Ross is RuPaul's top girls. That's the top, like, legendary. So I don't think that comedy route that she took was the best strategy. And I felt like with this, what came down to this, Rue's like the performance was, I felt like it was a little bit too ratchet for Diana Ross. And Amethyst did Diana Ross justice. And so rightfully so, they announced Amethyst as the winner. And I was satisfied with that. I just felt a little confused because I felt like she shouldn't have been in the bottom. That it had definitely been Poppy. And honestly, I Jax should have did a lip sync with it. Jax would have won, obviously, duh. But Amethyst, I don't know. Girl, third time. If you do this a third time, I don't know if you're going to make it. Well, next week, they have the Snatch Game. So we'll see. I don't know. I feel like it's too soon for a Snatch Game. I don't know. I hope for the girls to really be able to perform and do well in this Snatch game. And we'll see. I live to review RuPaul because I love RuPaul. I love RuPaul Drag Race. And if you like RuPaul Drag Race and you love my reviews and my recaps, give this a like and a share. It's much appreciated. And I hope to see you guys next week. Enjoy. Bye-bye.